ever since I started building sites and having success at this particular formula that I've used, I've tried to figure out a way to teach it to other people, kind of give back and help people be able to have the same success that we've had. I'm looking at actually creating a Udemy course that would be have a lot more details. In the class we have today, we will do somewhat of a summary. Each one of these items that we'll cover, there are tens, if not hundreds of hours underneath each of these things that you could spend your time on. But I'm going to hopefully give you enough stuff today that will at least allow you to get started and feel comfortable with the outline for how to build a store. So you want to be able to use the internet to bring an income to you, perhaps even replace your current income. And in this case, we're trying to get to $60,000 in profit. So that means after cost of goods, after expenses and stuff, you basically have a job that pays you $60,000 and has some flexibility. And in the middle of that, it seems to be just a bunch of crazy magic that some people become successful at, others not so successful. But what I found, we've done several stores. I started out doing the first store that I did was with my brother. It's called randomdeals.cc, and it was purely random. It was everything from step bars for trucks to other aftermarket parts for automobiles, tents and sleeping bags. So we covered the camping stuff. We had computer components that we were selling on it, and we were selling also sporting goods stuff, so baseball bats. So the same place you could go get a step bar for your truck, you could also get a baseball bat if you wanted to. And it was purely random, but the interesting thing was that people bought from it. And it was the strangest thing to me that someone would come to my really ugly-looking website, put in their credit card number, and buy some step bars that I made $100 each time they did it. But since then, I built, with my brother, I built outersports.com, which focused specifically on camping stuff. And then I built robinsports.com. And after 5 years, my wife and I sold that company, and then we've done other ones, including children's clothing, Mayley'sBoutique.com, right, named after Mayley. And then ProHealthCareProducts.com, which is a medical products website, OnlineSafetyDepot.com, SweatshirtStation.com. And with each of these different websites, we've just followed the same formula. And there's some knowledge that you'll have to work on getting that takes a little bit of effort. And one of the first things I recommend is a lot of times when people come across something new, you have a tendency to almost mentally block yourself from it and say, that's not my specialty, that's not my expertise. And then so you just basically tune it out. Well, in order to be successful at this stuff, you've got to have a mentality that you want to just soak up everything you can, learn everything you can, and do everything you can. Because otherwise, you will run into some obstacles, you will run into some roadblocks, and you will fail ultimately. So let's look at what is inside of the crazy magic in there. So the process for getting through the crazy magic stuff to go from just having an idea or having a desire to have a business, first of all, you have to set up a business entity. And some of you I know have already done that. Others haven't had experience and would need some help getting started. I'll go over just a few things that are required in here. The second is to determine what it is that you want to sell. There are other ways to make money on the internet without selling anything necessarily. My brother, who's an attorney, has a legal blog where he just has a bunch of content that he publishes on there, and he puts Google AdSense ads on there, and he makes $500 to $700 a month. Google just sends him a check because people click on his ad. So he's not even selling anything. But the stuff that I do always focuses on a retail product that I could sell for more than what I buy it for. So the third thing here then is to set up dealer accounts. And I'll show you some information on how to go about finding people who want you to sell their stuff, and we'll sell it to you at wholesale. The next thing is to set up a hosting and shopping cart solution. So you have to have somewhere like a home base for your website where you can where people can come and buy stuff from you essentially. The next one is you have to get a merchant account. So you've got to have some way for them to pay you, and nobody likes to send checks or money orders or cash or any of those types of things. And so you have to have a way for them to pay with a credit card, and that's a merchant account. That's what that's called, and that's a way for them to put in their credit card through your site. It goes through a place like PayPal or Authorize.net and Elevon, a merchant account, and then it goes into your bank account. Is essentially how it works. The next one is to publish your products, to publish the things that you're selling, and that's integrated with your shopping cart solution. I'm going to show you a couple of the ones that I've used in the past, and you can make a decision what works best for you. The next couple things are to drive traffic. So you want to get traffic coming to your website, and that's where you get your money from. When I first started outersports.com, it was kind of hard to figure out and to measure how successful we were being, because for the first little while we didn't get any orders. And in fact, on the sweatshirt station. This is you just became a sponsor of this thing. That was a little sponsored ad. And so with outersports.com, the way that we measured our progress is we'd see we're getting more visits to our site, and even though the orders weren't coming all that quickly, we could see that this was a progress that we were making, that we had more and more people coming to our site, and ultimately they started purchasing. And what I have found is typically for every 100 visits you get to your site, someone will place an order, and you can use that to do some interpolation on what exactly you're going to make based on what your products cost and other things like that. But it's a pretty straightforward formula. The more visits you have, the more money you're going to make, period. Those are the two that are highly correlated. And then the last part is to fulfill orders, and that's basically just if you're having something drop shipped, then you'll send an email to your supplier, or you'll go on their website, order it for wholesale, and have them send it to your customer. So those are the essentials. And if you guys want, we could end the class right now, and you could go out and figure out how to do all those things, or we could dig into some of the details.